What's up, guys? Excalibur here. What an absolutely crazy FOMC day in the market. So I just want to go over my two trades I took on options and kind of give you guys tidbits and whatnot on what I saw in futures. I didn't learn any, or I only learned a short on futures, but I didn't learn anything with FOMC just because it's high risk and definitely quick in, quick out. So Baidu, a lot of the chat GPT stuff going on with it. With next month they want to get a Chinese version out, and also today BlackRock increased its passive stake to 6.6 from 3.5, which is basically doubling, which is pretty crazy. So we had that huge gap up. On that news of BlackRock, I expected a pretty decent push up. Want to get farther out. Sorry, my son just walked in. But with that news, in the chat GPT, a lot of long-term calls came in on Baidu. So, I've been adding it to my watch list, kind of just, want to look at long-term. That's why I want a week out, just in case it didn't really work out on today's news. We still had the other news and hopefully more development and all that. But, looking at, we got in pretty quick, nice gap. Didn't even want to sell off. You had a little sell off here to make a new low a day. I saw it pushing back up here. We got calls for next week. There's your new low a day. Calls for next week, and pretty much basically took it until this 154 pivot, which if you pop up on the 4-hour, which was this previous high, back over here where we had this pretty decent sell off on earnings. So basically hit that high on the high on the earnings and continue to sell off. Pretty simple play, news based. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Also, my other play today, Netflix, same thing, news based. They told advertisers in recent days that signups for its ad tier doubled in January from December. A sign of the new offering is getting traction. Double. I mean, that's pretty big. That something's going to double month to month. So with Netflix kind of looking at it on the lower time frame, probably could have waited just a little teeny tiny bit to get in, but I saw the initial pop on the news right here, and you could take your fibs from your low to high here. Pretty decent pullback to 0.618. And then what I like to see is kind of have it round up to hit this kind of high here and then push through. And that's exactly what we did. Beautiful 88% on this play. And then, basically just went sideways after that. So got that initial news, which was pretty killer. IV spike on it. You just wait for that pullback. You're going to have the initial pop. If it just pops and keeps going, it's just going to keep going and, you don't FOMO into it. We had that decent pullback, on very bullish news. And then overall, I thought we would have a little nice, decent push up into Powell. So that kind of helped my bullish stance during the day. And nice pullback to here to open price, 0.618. Definitely key spots to get in right here. And, just rode it up, trimmed as you go up. So on ES, I gave two good notes right here. Did Bookmap, and I said, looks like buyer stops. Buyers apparently, consolidated down here at this was at 1108. So 11, we had a drop, decent consolidation, and then liquidity comes below. So what I like to see from that, if it comes down at the lows, usually it's going to be someone buying down here. And they're going to put their stop here. So you look for a push up. So that was at 1108. I can go back to that time. which was right here, 1108. So we had this consolidation right here after our drop at 11 o'clock hour, underneath lows, and that Bookmap level was basically right here. So that was a good time, when I do that, I'm not going to get in every play. I'm going to help with you guys get into your own plays. That's the whole goal, is to use my ideas and try to adapt into your style into your plays. You don't, and on your end, you're still taking the play on your own, but Bookmap level down here, if this buyer stops, they're going to push the market away from here. Pretty decent, 16 points to 2 points risk. I'd take that any day. Tell you that's where their stops were hit down here. And then I also had, so I went short on M&Q and I exited at break even. We had that QQQ dark pool level, and it looks like a 1 minute inverse head and shoulders. So let's go look at that QQQ dark pool, which was that, I think it was like 11 billion that they also sold puts to kind of de-risk their equity, but the level was 293.05. And they got it around here. Nothing really went crazy about it yesterday, but you could tell where was our, where did we basically hold today at dark pool level? 293.05. We hit down here, we bounced. So definitely that dark pool was definitely a buy, and obviously they could have sold up here already and made, pretty decent money. And then let's see if I can see that on QQQ, that kind of, let's just go to NQ. The inverse head and shoulders, and it was, my short was below Wednesday, kind of like below. So I got in here kind of as bear flag. We broke below 12.1. I wanted to see 12.1 hold as a resistance. I know a couple of people got stopped out, but if you even pop up the 1 minute, like, you can still tell that 12.1 is still a resistance right here. We closed right on it, but overall just wicks above. Nice breakdown, but I exited break even just because that dark pool and QQQ, and then we also had right here, and then I got out break even on this last shoulder, and then you would have long there. You would have I should have flipped long. I don't really like flipping long after I short something. That 12.1. Overall, just look at that 12.1. I messaged it was a huge level. And then we could look on the higher time frame, kind of 1 hour, 30 minute. We held that 12.1, popped up 12.2, came back down, kind of held it. We broke below, but FOMC, of course, that level is gonna be crazy, but we went right back up. So at 12.1 all the way up to 12.5. I mean, if we would have went long over that 12.1, which you could tell this 12.1 level, former resistance, support, resistance. We broke below resistance. We finally broke above it Tuesday, and that was we were just kind of holding it as a support. So just simple key levels here. And let's go ahead and chart up ES. And showed you what I saw. So we had off the open, Wednesday, off the open, decent push up, strong push up. We took over overnight highs pretty quick. Nice 5 minute doji down, but RTH open held. So what I was looking for here was, are we going to be able to break below RTH open? And we also are in, our initial balance from our first hour high to low. So I always mark that up. 10:30 would be this one right here. And so, at 10:30 when the initial balance happens, you could tell 10:30 happened. We couldn't get past that 483, which was a key level. I saw kind of weakness, and you can tell, we have a basically 95% chance, 93% chance to either hit the IB high or low during market open. And you can tell we pretty much wanted to sell off, kind of push down, flagged up, another push down, pretty decent move to the IB low, broke the overnight lows. Then we pushed up the IB mid again. I missed this one. I was picking up my son at 11:30, and I just kind of wanted to take lunch off till FOMC. I didn't really think much was going to happen. And pretty, decent rejection off the IB mid. And then you could tell how we broke below RTH open, tested again, sold off again. So pretty decent play there. I marked up this, for FOMC. FOMC is crazy. It didn't really play out like I wanted it to this time. I was looking, I'll do what my strategy, but pretty decent. 4 o'clock sell. I don't really play this move. I caught the move up here just because we, with Bookmap and everything, kind of just seemed like, we sold off and then we fade up. But, I kind of stick on this higher time frame. What I look for is kind of inside candles. The indicator I have makes them turn orange or yellow, gold. So we had one 15-minute here. And then we had 30-minute really didn't show anything. The 5-minute had one here. We broke low. But I did take that breakdown of that 15-minute inside right here. But I was expecting us to go a little lower. I think my last one stopped out at break even. Still gave me 20 good points. Usually I want to see if we break below, continuation up. I know a buddy of mine got calls when we broke the highs of it, making the strat, making a 3 outside. And we just continued up. Had another inside bar here, and then nice push up. And that was basically it. I wanted kind of 2 bigger moves. I used to previously take kind of 1% on SPY up and 1% SPY down and grab both calls and puts. But that didn't really happen this time. He was kind of saying stuff bullish, and it just seems like every dip has been bought in the last couple of weeks. But also, if you go back to your fibs, something I'm trying to get better on is taking fibs from swing highs to swing lows. So right here, we had a push down yesterday's low to yesterday's high. You take the fib, we retrace back down to that 0.5 almost perfectly. Also, if you do this on the swing lows and swing highs, NQ, where did NQ bounce here? If we take this low to this high, I'm kind of messing with mine. There's that 0.5 bounce on this low right here, push up. So, you got to adapt to the market. You kind of bring in new strategies. I like to keep intraday futures beautiful, but, pretty crazy move. Futures is tough because NQ, MNQ, they move so fast. They keep, a solid risk. If you did short it here, you definitely moved fast to downside. You had to take profits pretty quick. Kind of a good day to stay away, unless you look at the higher time frame and grab 1 or 2 MNQs and, kind of stick to kind of the basics. But definitely pretty crazy move. And then tomorrow after hours, Apple, Google, Amazon all report. Yeah, all those report. And then 2 plays I'm looking at into tomorrow. Tesla. Definitely want to see it get past that 190. It's beautiful 179. So if we were possible to retrace back down to 179, beautiful beautiful bounce. Resistance we broke above today. But BlackRock increased their stake in Tesla, just like the Biden news. So definitely could just fly it open. Definitely want to see it over 190 to get to 196, possibly get up to that 200 level. And then Roku, I've been kind of waiting just for Roku to do its thing. And it's coming up on the 62 level. Tell the 62 level right here, resistance or support, broke below 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is possibly 7th time it's going to reject. Or if it breaks through, possibly watch a squeeze to see this downtrend break, which isn't the best downtrend because it's only 2, possibly 3, or whatnot. That back. So that, those are the two kind of plays I'm watching going into tomorrow, and then see if the market is gonna have a continuation or a complete opposite of Powell, because sometimes we do go opposite the next day. But y'all, I appreciate everyone who uses my affiliate link for Apex Trader. Definitely appreciate it in the description below. If you guys could like, subscribe. Trying to do these every day, especially I'm going to start doing recording videos